But do you guys hear those sleigh bells? Santa? That you? Welcome to our holiday episode, guys. We are all wearing ugly Christmas sweaters, and Esther's is jingling. So if you hear that throughout the entire episode, we kind of apologize, but not really because it's festive, okay?
Thank you for understanding. Also, this is the best sweater I've probably ever owned in my life because it makes sounds and people hear me when I'm coming. Hi guys, welcome!
She likes to sneak, so it's really helpful.
It really helps me not get caught. Welcome to this week's episode, guys. It is our holiday episode. We're so excited to be here. I'm feeling so Christmas this year. I don't know if you guys... I
want to. I feel like I am convincing myself to, but deep down I can't get into it, which is making me so sad because I really want to get into it. But I am literally watching a Christmas movie every single night, and I'm sitting next to a Christmas tree all the time. I literally will not sit anywhere that a Christmas tree is. Not. That was so many negatives. And yeah, I'm wearing a lot of ugly Christmas sweaters and drinking a lot of eggnog, but deep down my heart is black. What can I say?
What can you say?
No, I'm feeling it.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. I'm not like in particularly like really feeling it, but like I'm never not feeling it. I've never been the kind of person that's like, well, I hate
I'm
Christmas.
excited for it.
It's kind of like Christmas.
Yeah.
I think I like it more like it's harder when you're working full time now because when you were younger and you were in school, you would get that break. So then the last day of break, you would be like, I can lay around the house and just do Christmas for 2 weeks or whatever, a month even when you're in university. But now that I'm working full time, I'm like, I still have to work up till the 21st.
Yeah, and if you're working like any kind of retail job, it's just like not really fun for you. It's just blackout season.
Yeah, stay strong, guys. And don't take any shit from customers.
Yeah.
No, honestly.
None.
You don't deserve it.
No.
You really don't.
I mean, otherwise, I haven't really started my shopping. I've gotten two gifts now. Other than that, I've just been scrolling through Instagram like I always do. And this week, as I was scrolling through Instagram, I saw that Netflix is coming out with a series for Selena Quintanilla. And if you guys don't know who Selena is, not to be confused with Selena Gomez. She is a Tex-Mex singer. She died in 1995. It's going to be really cool. I'm excited because we do have a movie about her already, and it's a really great movie, but I do think Netflix gives people the opportunity to really break it down and do more than what a movie can.
Yeah, and I think it reaches other people too.
Also, the production value is probably going to be even better than that movie was because I feel like that movie, was it done really well?
It was, okay, I was like really happy that they're doing this, but also like if they didn't, that movie still like was really well made. Their family was really involved, which made it a good production. But I know that their family has done a really great job at keeping Selena alive. Recently, like 2 years ago, maybe they released a MAC collection for her. So they are keeping her alive in many ways. And I just think that they want to talk more about like, you see briefly the beginnings of her career. And I feel like they want to go more into that, like their past as a family. Like they actually had lost like everything, and that's why they started their little band as a family. Yeah. So I feel like we'll see more of that side of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could have gone without it, but I think it's great that they're doing it and they're keeping her alive. So I'm very excited to see.
Yeah,
it feels a little bit weird to me. Like, only in the sense that I'm like, she died 23 years ago at this point. And like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know why it feels so weird to me. Maybe because she had such a short career. Yeah. I know she was a big star. I know a lot of people loved her. I think, like, the way she died was so tragic and sad, which maybe is another part of it. But I just feel like her family, like, really won't just let her rest, almost. Like, it's her family that is pushing this forward. And it just feels like a little bit, like, profitable almost for them.
I think in a lot of ways, yes, they're definitely banking on this. But as someone who like still listens to a lot of her music, and a lot of Hispanic artists today do remixes of her music, it keeps it alive. So a lot of younger people who were born after her death are very interested in her. So it is, they are profiting of it, and I get why you think it's weird.
But like, yeah, her music is like something
Not
that people
super
still
weird, just
listen
like a
to.
little
No, I can
weird.
understand the weird
Yo, yeah,
side of it.
yeah.
I'm just excited to see, and I hope it's good.
Yeah.
I will hopefully get my Christmas shopping done since it's not coming out anytime soon.
That's the difference between me and you. My Christmas shopping is already done.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I have spent the last week just chilling and enjoying Christmas, like I already said. I've literally been trying to watch one Christmas movie a day to get myself. I have a list. I do them in ascending order, so like the least important ones first. So I'm just starting to get up there because I'm like, whoa, it's already like next. Christmas is
It's
already
very
less
soon.
than 2 weeks away.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm like, I need
haven't
to start
started
getting.
shopping.
I watched The Grinch, so that was like my mid movie, and then I have like more serious ones. Like once I watch Polar Express, it's serious. It's Christmas now.
I love Polar
Yeah,
Express.
and Christmas Vacation. Those two are probably my two that are like.
I'm into that.
I remember Polar Express was like that movie for me as a kid, and people were just like, Brittany, you're dramatic. It's not that serious. But I'm like, that movie was the first movie that actually made me cry as like a kid.
It's
and I literally
overwhelming.
No, it was like so, I don't know. And I remember being like so overwhelmed, but like also felt so magical.
yeah.
It literally made me
I
just feel
remember it.
so much. And I remember being like shook that a movie did that to me. And I was like, wow. Like,
Wow, I
Polar
really want to
Express.
watch it again.
It's a really good movie.
I only remember
really,
that
really
like
good.
when you get old, you don't hear the bell anymore.
Which
That
is
the
sad.
only
That is-
detail I remember.
That is like the saddest
But, like,
detail.
imagine
that was like what made me just break down.
I
like
know nothing else about this movie. I just know there's a bell, and when you're old, you can't hear it anymore. That's
Yeah.
all I remember.
yeah, well,
Isn't that? Ugh.
you should watch it. It's really good.
Yeah.
Also,
Putting
The
it on my
Grinch is
list.
definitely, yeah, I agree. That's a classic for me to watch during the holidays.
Yeah.
Love The Grinch.
Christmas Vacation, I think, is my number
Oh,
one.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
just like, I always watch that with my parents. My dad literally has the Wally World Cup, and we drink eggnog.
Oh.
Yeah, Nick got it for him last year.
Oh my god, that's so good.
Yeah, so that was my week, and we had our work Christmas party today, so I'm getting even more into the spirit. And unfortunately, Esther and I lost a coworker today. Oh my god, he didn't die.
Oh, I was like, wait,
My face, I was really like, why didn't you guys tell me
wait,
that?
What? Did I miss something?
As soon as I said it, I was like, wow, that sounded like death. No, he left, and it made us a little bit sad. Oh no, it made us sad.
We were sad.
We were sad.
Honestly, he's a very unique individual in the office, and I don't think the replacement will be anything like him once we get one.
It's hard. He was like my first work person when I started there, and it's like my work husband leaving. So now I just have a work wife. Anyways.
Esther, in case you were wondering. She's like, not Esther, in case you were wondering.
Wait, no, who?
Yeah, how was my week?
Brittany, you were gone.
Yeah, it was a
You're
week.
back.
I'm back. Hi.
She just got back.
Yeah, I went to North Carolina. And if you guys didn't listen to the last episode, we were debating on whether they had trees and people. But they do.
tell us.
They do have trees and they do have people.
Congrats, North Carolina.
Yeah. But no, it was honestly so good. It was a great time. They have like really tall, like I feel like I was in Twilight, you know?
Oh,
Like the trees are like
Forks,
very
Washington.
Yes.
Mhm.
wow,
really tall
great
trees.
job.
I ate a lot.
Yeah, I saw all those
Yes, I
food
posted a bunch
Instagrams.
of like food posts on Instagram, but like I ate so much like just southern food, like good food.
You know what? This is still stressing me out about where the hell this place is on a map.
You
Because
don't
you're
know?
telling me it looks like Washington, and yet there's Southern chicken. I'm like, what? Where is this place?
You know,
I thought it was on the coast.
you know, I'll
Am
put
I
a little.
thinking? I'm
clip
thinking
in
West
there.
Virginia. I'm thinking West and East Virginia.
Honestly, don't ask me about America.
Because there's North
I
and
know
South
nothing.
Carolina.
I
did
know
they
all
have-
the dumb stuff that like you don't need to know, like
Yeah.
so many presidents' names.
I could only tell
You
you.
Yeah.
What?
No, you don't.
JFK, Reagan, Bush.
Oh wow, good for you. But yeah, no, it was really good. I think the most interesting thing was like just observing another culture of people and just seeing like how they. I feel like people were nicer.
It sounds like you
rude
went
they
to
are. I'm
India
joking.
or
No,
something. You were
listen,
like,
that-
another beautiful culture,
No.
the North Carolina culture.
You know what? I knew you were gonna say that, but like honestly, it's so different.
No,
like
I
it's
believe
very,
it.
very
Did
different.
you just say that they were nicer?
I think they're more like homey and like welcoming.
Not
Like just right off the
possible.
bat.
Brittany.
Canadians are not that nice.
We are so
whoa.
nice. I say
First of all,
sorry
a British
for
person
everything.
just told me that Americans are very rude and
They are.
Canadians are very nice.
They are.
In general. So I'm going
Yes.
to take their word for it because they are the homeland.
Okay, all I'm saying is it was just like real Southern hospitality, you know?
Fine,
Maybe the
it's
South.
because you were in the South.
Maybe
I
Fine,
debatable.
I'll say that about the South.
'Cause
The
if you were in New
Washington
York-
South.
No, that's what I'm saying.
No shade, no
Obviously, New
tea,
York is not a bunch of polite people on the pavement.
can defend
Anyways, yeah, that
myself.
was my
Don't be
week.
fooled.
Thank you for listening to the longest intro in history.
Guys, so you know what I've never been in my life? Catfish.
Oh.
I've never been. That too. That too. No, I've never been catfished. And if you don't know what catfishing is, it's when somebody pretends to be someone they're not and they trick you and you believe it and then you eventually find out it's not them.
Online.
Yes, all online. So more recently in social media, if you've been active lately, a term has come to light, and this term is blackfishing. So after explaining catfishing, I think you can kind of connect the dots. Blackfishing is essentially someone on social media pretending to be black for like profit.
Somebody
So-
who is not black.
Someone who is not black.
Like, whoa, Vicky.
Oh my god, is that someone like who's being accused of blackfishing?
Well, like,
Okay, you
that's...
tell me about this person.
Okay, so whoa, Vicky. She came from Dr. Phil, of course. She was like a crazy sporadic white girl that claimed that she was black, that she felt
Oh.
black inside.
Okay.
Now she's like has millions of followers on Instagram. She does all this like Fashion Nova stuff, and like she's just known for being like really like ratchet and like
Okay.
problematic.
Problematic.
She's like a teenager. She's like 17 or something.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds like blackfishing then. So that's your example.
Mm-hmm.
I found out about blackfishing through this Instagram model, and her name, I don't know if she's a model or just like an influencer. She's probably just an influencer, but her name is Emma Hallberg. She's originally from Sweden. And this all happened because a photo of her surfaced where she's like fully like white. But then on Instagram, she's like very tanned. Like she looks black, like light skin.
Mm-hmm.
And for a long time, a lot of people were like, you're blackfishing, like you're not black, you're not really black, blah, 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 to the point where this picture surfaced. Yeah. And the reason why she is being scrutinized for it is because, like, okay, before we even get deeper into this topic, I understand if you are of a lighter complexion and you can tan to be very dark. That is one thing. And it's a lot of, like, for example, I get really, really pale in the winter. And if I hold my arm up to my face, they're not the same color. And when I went to Cuba, I got super tan. But she does it in a way where she does look light skinned. And other accounts have used her as like, oh, look at these strong, beautiful black women you should follow. And she hasn't denied that she's not black.
Yes, I see.
So she's
I
kind
see
of
that.
using that for her own personal gain. Like, this is getting me followers. Like, if you were really innocent and not blackfishing, you would have literally let them know, hey, listen, guys, like, I'm not black. Like, I'm totally for black women empowerment, but I'm not black. Just to let you know, like, don't tell other people I'm black, you know? But she doesn't care because she knows it's going to get her a following.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Okay, I really would love to see a picture of her because
Yeah, I was like,
to
what does she
me,
look like?
she's Swedish, first of all. So she's like the whitest of white.
Yeah.
And then if you are tanning as a white person, you are either going to look orange if you're fake tanning, which is not going to come off looking light skin, or you're going to tan to like, you're going to tan within your own natural means of skin, which
Yeah.
is never going to be enough. Like,
For
as
us to
a fully
confuse you.
white, pale woman, I have never tanned, and I used to tan all the time when I was a teenager, to the point where anyone could ever confuse me with a person of color, ever.
So I'm just going to let them check out Emma Hallberg. It's just a little alarming because, yeah, like, I understand the difference between, like, getting tan to, like, get a bit of a darker tan to not look so pale. Like, I understand that.
Okay, so this is what I'm getting from looking at the picture and seeing what she looks like. Clearly, she like, she doesn't look black, okay?
No,
like,
I don't think
at
so
all.
either.
But clearly somebody in the universe was like, oh, like, mistaken her for whatever reason, thought she was like maybe mixed or whatever, and she ran with it because obviously she was like down for that. You know what I mean? She was like, yeah, like I want people to think that I'm black, because obviously people were thinking like, oh, she's so pretty, like she's half black, she's
Which
so pretty.
is the problematic part.
Yeah.
But to me, looking at that picture, I did not think she looked mixed or even.
No.
I think she maybe looks like Portuguese, like European, if anything. But that's not the point. The point is that when she was called out as being a strong, powerful black woman, she didn't stand up and say like, "No, I'm actually not." Yeah, like what Esther said.
I just feel like if it was ever addressed to her, because like from what I understood, like she was being called out on these pages, and I just feel like your life is Instagram. Like, you know, you're being called out on these pages, you should speak up and say something. And the other thing is that she's not alone in this. There's another Instagram influencer. Her name is Aga Brostowska, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. She's from Poland. Her skin is naturally not pale, and she admits to making herself look darker. She tans in a non-malicious way. And honestly, like, also looking at her, like, I honestly thought she was mixed or black. And I was blown away when I saw, like, her, not before and afters, but, like, an old picture of her versus a picture of her now. So it just kind of, like, in my opinion, it brings the question, like, how do you know when you're blackfishing? And then it made me realize it's easy to know when you're blackfishing. And it's when... It's weird, like, do you have to let people know now I'm not black? Because it does get to a point where you cross a thin line where it's hard to tell. And it's
but that's the thing. It's like, it's as simple as if someone were to mistaken your background, you just tell the truth. Like,
Just
it's
clarify.
Yeah, like, it's as simple as that. I've had so many people, like, think that I'm something else, or, like, I'm mixed up with something, and I've been like, no, I'm not, because I'm not. Like, I just don't understand that. Like,
I think the difference for me is that these girls that you're talking about, when they're tanning, that is it's one thing to have the appearance of tanning, and then I have seen other girls on Instagram literally do videos where they're like a white girl just like me, and they are applying foundation that is black, essentially doing modern day blackface with makeup. And just like, then they look black, and like they might have the features that, like, I've seen girls where like they take a picture and then I'm like, oh yeah, like that's a black girl, and then I see them like wipe it off and they're like white, and I'm like, that is so problematic. Like, don't show that on your Instagram. Don't do that in general.
why do people do that? Like, I don't even get it. What's the point?
Because they want like, and then she's like hashtag melanin, like all this stuff, and I'm like, you are literally being black because it's popular now.
Okay, so this nurse from New York, her name is Dara Thurmond, and she is very passionate about this topic. At first I read this article and I was like, okay, like, what is the purpose of her speaking out? But I guess she's talked about it enough where she's tracking attention for it, and she was essentially saying that, like, white's not the standard anymore. Essentially, like, everyone wants these bigger, fuller lips, bigger thighs, bigger bums, darker skin, curly hair, braids. We've seen Kim Kardashian do cultural appropriating things, and like, I get that. Like, people want that look, like bigger hips, thighs, whatever. The point is that because white is not the standard anymore, you have white presenting people kind of selling these, like, taking advantage of these things that they know are selling now. Like, big lips is selling, so get your lip fillers. Curly hair is like wigs and extensions. That's, people want to see more of that now, so just do that now. And it's not fair because people forget that black women started wearing weave because their natural hair wasn't neat enough for work.
Yeah.
You know, it's not, they never did it because they wanted to. Like, they kind of had to.
Yeah.
So,
well, the difference is that all those things are trendy right now, and these people want the look, but they don't want they don't want the stereotype that comes with it. They don't want the lack of privilege that comes with living that life every day. They want it all. And that's literally the most problematic thing ever, is that deep rooted issues of white people constantly stereotyping and just putting black people in a box for all of these issues and making them literally, why can I not think of the word discrimination? Just discriminating against them for all of these things, and then now the tables are turning, but the discrimination is not turning. We're seeing more than ever in the news anti-black movements and all of this horrific stuff that's going on, and yet we're still trying to look like them. It's horrifying. It's so disgusting to me, and it's so deep rooted.
It's unfair because we're starting to use white women, and I'm all for women, don't get me wrong. I obviously love women. I want every woman to feel loved and accepted, but I don't think it's fair when a white woman uses braids or black hair or just that look, okay, for their own personal gain, when we could be using a black woman who naturally has these beautiful features and let her make a profit from that. Let her feel empowered in that. Don't take that from her. You know what I mean? It's like when we get a white person to play an Asian character, like that ghost in a Shell movie with Scarlett Johansson. It's just way more deep rooted, and we could talk about this forever. But be wary, guys, of the people you follow on social media. Don't get blackfished, because you could be supporting another strong black woman doing her thing, and she really deserves it, I would say.
Yeah. Okay, guys, you know what time it is.
You always do that voice. We'll be talking normally, and then she's like, okay, guys.
You know what time it is.
Welcome to Game Time. Smooth Talk.
Welcome to Smooth Talk Radio. All right, it's game time. Welcome to Fake News or Nah. I hope we get a cool intro. Also, really sorry, didn't get the sound effects for this episode.
We have one drum
We
roll.
have jingles.
Oh, we have a drum roll. Oh. We have your shirt, too.
Yeah, we have the jingles. Okay.
So, you guys know how the game goes, but if you don't, for our listeners, I'll explain it really quick. So, basically how the game goes is I'm going to give you guys 3 headlines. One of them is correct, and the other ones I've altered. And you just have to tell me which one is the right one.
Hope you guys enjoy seeing me win. Thank you.
All right.
Hope you guys enjoy seeing Esther win.
Just to catch you guys up, what is the score?
2?
I don't know.
Michelle's like, I haven't been here.
I think this is the first time we've played.
Okay.
Reigning champ.
I'm not a great loser.
Okay, ready?
Ready.
All right, so the first one is CBC Radio bans Baby It's Cold Outside to its holiday lineup.
Oh,
That's
Brittany.
number 1.
Oh, Brittany, we read the news.
Oh, do you?
Okay, let's see what else.
Okay, number 2. Man shouts "Kill Santa" repeatedly at Florida holiday event.
Everything has to do with Florida. Y'all are fucking crazy.
There's a lot of sporadic people in Florida, clearly. And then stop looking at my phone.
I'm not.
And the final one is teacher who told kids Santa isn't real has been let go.
I locked mine in.
Oh, dang. Esther's quick.
Esther is
You guys
quick.
don't
She
even
just
talk to
makes
me
up
about
her
it.
mind.
You guys don't
Okay, let me talk to you about it.
Yeah.
We know what the first one is. We know that it's not real.
What? That's real.
Oh, is that the one you're voting for?
I don't know. What was that?
Oh, maybe we shouldn't talk.
I can't talk to you
Maybe we
about
shouldn't
it.
talk about
You
it.
said CBC Radio, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, they have a radio station? Do they have an actual radio?
Esther.
Whose mans is this?
Yeah.
On the actual, scroll through dial thing? Dude.
Huh?
CBC?
No, Esther.
Esther, are you Canadian?
All right, you know what? How about we just lock in our answers, right?
Yeah.
I think
Thanks for starting this.
I picked the first one.
you picked the first one
You pick
as
one.
Okay, I picked the third one.
CBC one.
as real.
As real, yes.
I think the third one's
Wait,
real.
let me play my
think the
drum
third
roll
one's
for
real.
us.
Yeah, Esther got a
Alright.
drum roll. Even though I think it's fun to do a drum roll. I'm gonna do it with it. Just kidding.
This is horrible,
That
I
is
feel
so
like.
not loud enough.
Okay, and the winner is Michelle.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm really happy that tricked you because I was hoping it did. And then when you guys spoke about it earlier, I was like, oh, they heard about it. Let's see if I get them.
And that's why I was like,
did.
I know that's not right because I read that news story and it was not CBC radio. It was like 96.4 or some random number radio. It wasn't CBC.
Actually, it was CBC also. So that's incorrect. But I put... Okay, anyways, let's just get to it, all right?
Yes, tell
So,
us, Brittany.
Michelle, winner, congratulations. Let me tell you about the story. So a New Jersey teacher was let go for telling her students that Santa Claus is not real.
That is lame.
Yeah. Apparently, so I'll tell you the story. It was like a Cedar Hill school principal.
Cedar Hill sounds like a rich school.
Cedar Hill, yeah. Basically, the teacher told the kids, the classroom, that Santa Claus is not real and continued to tell them why he's not real and really just had a whole lesson on why Santa was not real.
That's not
That teacher is an
place.
asshole.
Yeah, so the
Let
board
them
was really upset and
believe.
obviously parents were very upset and so...
Yeah, that literally screws them over. Do you have to put a crying kid to sleep at night? No.
Yeah.
Like, mind you, I never grew up really believing in Santa, but pretended to my whole life. Like, wrote letters and
Wait,
stuff.
what?
Honestly,
I
there
still
was a-
believe in Santa a little bit. Like, how can you not? I'm serious. I'm serious. You have to believe a little bit.
Yeah, no, I honestly believe in Santa.
I'm like, he's out
I believe in the
there.
spirit of Santa.
No.
And frankly, I feel like I believed in Santa for a long time. And then there was a point where I didn't. And I agree with you, Esther. I just pretended to after that because, like, I didn't want to ruin it. Like, you know?
I don't think I ever did, but that's because, like, my parents never spoke about Santa. I learned about Santa at school.
They didn't call him Papa Noel?
No. And you know what? I feel like asking my other Latino friends if their parents did. Because I don't even know how to say his name. I guess that's it.
No.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
it's
That's
not.
the French version.
Literally,
Yeah.
this is how, like, my parents did not talk to me about Santa, okay? I went to school, like, Santa?
So then, did you get gifts from Santa?
Well, that's the other thing. We open our gifts at midnight. So it's not like we sleep.
That's like a European thing.
Yeah, very European.
A lot of Latin cultures do it. So it's like, when was Santa gonna show up with these gifts? You know, they never had that story to tell me, and it's funny because I would like leave cookies and stuff, and they'd be like, "Okay, like this is what
That's the funny. Are you serious? Your family would be probably so confused.
That's
like,
so
what are you doing,
No,
Esther?
they definitely knew who Santa was. They just never like
They just didn't do
when they
it.
saw me doing those little things. They're like, "Okay."
They're like, you know, he's not coming
They're like,
because
God,
we have
she's
to be
white
Santa.
now.
Literally, what happened? And
They're like, look
also,
what we've done.
They would always read the letters I wrote, and one year I wrote I wanted a hamster, and I got my hamster, and I
So
also knew
thanks,
my mom.
Santa. You came clutch.
You came real close.
No, my
Sarah.
parents
They're rude.
always told me to believe in Santa, and we always did that. But then once they told me that he wasn't real, they were like, by the way, tell your sisters.
Oh,
They made
good.
you tell?
Yeah, I had to
Oh,
tell both
no.
of them when they came to like a certain age. My parents were like, "Go tell Kristen Santa's not real." And then when I'll
That's
be
so
like 2 years
sad.
older than her. And then when my youngest sister like came of age, whatever age it was, they were like, "Yeah, you did such a good job with Kristen. Like, can you tell Taylor?" And I was like,
Oh
"No."
my god, they're
Yeah.
so
That-
mean.
They snaked me hard on that. Yeah.
I feel like we never even said Santa's not real. It just like fizzled. And then I have a younger sister, like a lot younger, so we like kept it going for a long time when it was really done for me because like obviously I'm not gonna ruin it.
Aw,
Yeah.
that's nice though.
Anyways, I'll give you guys the others. The
Wow.
other.
We are really
stories.
rambling tonight.
Yeah, we're really chatty tonight, but that's okay.
Missed you guys.
Yeah, so here's the twist. The other stories were also somewhat true, but I just changed a few
the
parts of
same
them.
twist every week, y'all.
The one that Esther thought was correct. It was correct in your defense, but they brought it back, so it is no longer correct. Because essentially Canadians complained too much about it, and they brought it back.
Okay.
Yeah, they got rid of the ban. They said, sorry that you're
Thanks,
offended. If you are,
Cereal.
change the station.
Oh, feisty are we?
But it's a holiday.
Just to be clear, I feel weird about that song still.
Yeah.
I don't feel offended necessarily, and I understand that it
'Cause
was written a really long time ago, so I can take it out.
1940.
But at the same time, when you listen to the lyrics, like, it's a weird song. There's something wrong there. So
Yeah.
I don't support the song. I like to sing it. But also, I'm not like, take that song away.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
I'm not outraged.
I feel like it's a weird song.
I definitely think it's weird too.
Yeah.
But I still sing it.
And the final one was actually man shouts, "There is no Santa Claus." We got a theme going at a Florida holiday event. Still Florida. Yes.
Great.
Still crazy Florida.
Just to check in with you guys, Florida is still doing something crazy.
Still
bi-weekly
crazy.
at least.
The funny thing about this story was that it was like more so a video. And I was watching the video and like the amount of people that were just so outraged and so upset by this man that they're like, he's just ruining the Christmas spirit. And I was like, guys, like it was like a little festival. Like he's just a sporadic man that like obviously needs help, whatever. But like, that's ruining your Christmas? Like, give me a break.
But he's screaming it, right?
Yeah, but he's just screaming it in your home on Christmas Day.
Wait,
So
what?
you're fine.
Wait, he was screaming, "Kill Santa."
No. He was saying there is no Santa.
Oh, I thought it was "Kill Santa."
No. See, it wasn't even that aggressive.
Yeah. I mean,
It's annoying. I'd literally just be like, "Shut up."
can you guys remember the last time you screamed as loud as you could in public? Is that cute?
No.
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 One day was the last day we screamed in
The
public.
only man that I ever hear scream in public is the Believe guy, Young and Dundas. So.
Oh. Whoa, Esther.
Yeah, he's still there.
That's crazy.
Every day.
No,
So-
everybody knows who that guy is.
And like you can deal with it because you pass by him.
I just
and-
learned he was saying believe like recently in life.
So you literally think he's sleeping, and then he just.
Michelle, you don't know that guy?
Yeah, I know one.
Okay. Anyways, that was fake news or nah. Congrats, Michelle.
Oh, I forgot she was.
Yeah, sorry.
Not so
Congrats.
sorry.
Okay.
Guys, I don't know if you have seen. If you haven't, you are like seriously missing out. Jada Pinkett Smith's Red Table Talk on Facebook. Have you guys seen?
No, I have not.
What? Are you serious?
No, I
Okay,
haven't.
first of all, watch it. They're like 20-minute videos. They're so good. So essentially, Jada Pinkett Smith invites someone into her house to have a conversation with, her daughter Willow and her mom Adrienne. So the one that got me kind of watching, I guess, is she had one with Will Smith, and it was called two-parter called Becoming Mr. and Mrs. Smith, which I just like fell in love with their relationship because they talk a lot about like the respect for each other, respect for boundaries that they have, growing together, redefining their marriage, and just like everything that I literally want to apply into my relationship. Side note, so crazy. They literally said when they were like newly dating that they would never swear or yell at each other. And for 20 years, they never did.
They never cussed at each other.
Never cussed, never yelled, never like got angry with each other like that. They would always just like take it away
And then
like calm
talk.
down and then go talk. And I was like, oh, I respect you so much. I have tried to incorporate it into my relationship, and that was my mistake because now every time I get angry, Nick always says, I thought we were doing the Will Smith thing.
It's hard. It is such a discipline to hear
Oh, I
him
could
talk
never
about it
promise
like
that. I could never
And now,
promise
and then
that.
I'm always
It's
like,
hard.
yeah, we are. Anyways, the reason she is my woman of the week this week is because I feel like it goes so well with Esther's topic, which was not planned trust. She had Ellen Pompeo, who is from Grey's Anatomy, if you don't know, Meredith. She had her on about an episode about biracial marriages, and because Ellen Pompeo is married to a mixed music producer.
Oh, I didn't
music
know
guy.
that. Wow.
He's mixed, and she has mixed children as a result of that. So they have this really like interesting conversation about white and black women, I essentially. And Jada's mom is obviously a generation older than her. It's really nice because you get all three generational opinions because they have Willow, who is a teenager-ish, young 20s, Jada, who is middle-aged, and her mom, who is older but still like so like
Woke.
Lively.
Oh, I'm going to tell you why we shouldn't say woke anymore. Ha ha.
Oh.
Idiot. No, so Ellen Pompeo, being a mom to mixed children, is very outspoken about race and as a white woman. So she just started it off by saying that people are really scared to talk about race, which I think, like, for me as a white woman, I do feel a little bit scared sometimes. Not with Brittany, because she's one of my best friends and I feel like I can be super candid with her, but when you're not talking to your best friend, like, it's so easy to think, like, I just rather not talk about this because I don't want to offend anyone.
Yeah.
Which is
like,
the
you have to be so
problem, is that
careful.
people aren't talking about it. And she was saying, which, like, really resonated with me, that it's a problem to be scared of talking about race because you're just perpetuating it further. Like, if nobody's ever going to talk about it, then, like, and I don't know. It just hit me, like, so much. Like, it's really important to talk about it. She also talked about how woke is too overused because essentially it's trendy to be inclusive now, which is very similar to what we were talking about. It's trendy to be Black or supportive of Black actors. She literally said that, like, everyone's realizing that Will Smith is not the only Black movie star, so now we're gonna go love Tiffany Haddish, which we do love her. She's great, but it's almost like trendy to love her, and everyone's like, "Oh, you're so woke," and it's like, no, you're just like you're just tuned into what's happening culturally.
Yeah,
like,
I
good for you.
definitely-
You
I
finally
get
caught
that.
up. Like,
No, that's like a thing that bothers me so much is when people, like, I would never call myself woke, never in my
Yeah.
life, because it's like so many people just say, yeah, like, in all seriousness at least, but
Yeah.
like so many people will say, claim themselves to be woke as, like, they could be like Black, they could be whoever, whatever color they want to be, but they'll say they're woke and then just their whole everything that they're about is the complete opposite, and it's just like whatever people are saying. It's like, I'm gonna repost this TED talk about racism or like about discrimination or about cultural appropriation. I'm gonna repost this post about this because I've seen a lot of people posting it and like
Yeah.
they're woke, so like I'm woke too. It's like, it's so annoying because like, do you even know what that like really even meant? Did you even feel anything watching that video or reading that article? Like, did that change like how you look at the world?
yeah, like, congratulations for you. You watched a TED Talk and now you're a little bit more knowledgeable about race issues. That does not make you woke. It just
Yeah.
means that for once you pulled your head out of your ass and tried to put your perspective somewhere different, which we should be doing every single day if
Yeah.
we want to actually grow and claim that we're woke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Also, I don't think personally I would ever claim to be woke ever, just because it's a little narcissistic.
Yeah.
Like, it sounds weird to even say
Yeah.
I'm woke. But yeah, that just made me see it so differently.
Yeah, it's so true. Because like, if you're gonna go and say I'm woke about, like, you're just saying like, oh yeah, I know everything there is to know about like any type of issue in this world. It's like,
Yeah.
do you though? Like, that's
Like,
impossible.
how could you even claim that?
Yeah, like
Also, like, she talked about how she was like, as a white woman, I have white friends, and as a, like, my husband is mixed and my children are mixed, I have a lot of Black friends. And she's like, my Black friends have a lot of white friends. My white friends don't have, like, Black friends. Which I thought was so interesting because, and maybe it's because, like, they're even, like, a generation higher than us. But I feel like I have a good mix of friends personally.
Yeah.
But when I
Look at
think
her
about,
now.
look at me now, surrounded by culture. I think personally, when I think of my white friends, like, no, they don't have any Black people in their lives. And she's like, it's less about, like, if you want to claim to be woke, if you want to actually be an ally in this, you can't just follow Kevin Hart, Tiffany Haddish, Black actors and say, oh yeah, put Black people in movies. Like, you have to go to dinner with Black people. You have to have them in your homes. Oh my God, that sounded terrible. You have to like, you have to invite them to your home and be friends with them and like have, like, they don't have to be your best friends, but you have to like have inclusivity in your life to claim to even have a different perspective.
Yeah.
You can't just do it because it's trendy.
yeah.
I understand that, like, a lot of people who especially live in like those really small towns that are majority white people, like, maybe it is harder for someone like that to be surrounded by a lot of Black people and have Black friends. 'Cause
Yeah.
I've literally been in towns, like, even as
That's
like,
how I felt in North Carolina.
Yeah,
That's
like-
truly how I was like so like weirded out to be around so many Black people.
yeah.
Oh, really?
But also to realize like I have so many different kinds of people as my friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I realized that the people that I was around there, like, they just were all friends with each other and they were all Black. But like that's their surroundings, but it's just like that's how it is there.
And that's why I feel like in Toronto, like we're so lucky that we have so much diversity, because whenever I go to Windsor is growing, by the way. Like in the past 5 years, it's exploded in population. But when I first started visiting Windsor, because my boyfriend has family there, I literally was like, I see no other culture here. Like it was a lot of white people. Now it's getting more diverse. But we are so lucky to be in the city, because it's hard when you live in smaller towns where it's just white people, and like that's nothing.
And it's like when you live in places like that, like there should be no excuse, like you know, because you can reach out to so many different kinds of people and learn so many different things. Like, yeah.
Going on like from the episode. So that was Ellen Pompeo's, which was really good. Again, only like 20 minutes. And then they had another one called The Racial Divide, which I thought was even more interesting because they really, Jada and her mom talked about how they have like almost PTSD from what they've been through in their lives. And obviously being a white woman with a lot of privilege, I don't have that perspective, and I can try my best to sympathize, but I will never have that perspective. So it was really interesting for me to hear it. Just like Jada was talking about how like white men have like been rude to her, but her thing is personally against white women. Like she finds like if you had to pick which gender was worse, it would be women. Like black women and white women have this divide that for some reason,
because women are always
pitted against each other. Yeah. And her mom even was saying, like, her mom was saying, first of all, I've never dated interracially. And Jada was saying, I have dated interracially. And her mom was like, yeah, and I did not like your boyfriend. And Jada was like, he's a perfectly nice guy. And she was saying that, like, in their family, they had a white guy marry in and they had a white girl marry in. And the white girl had to work, like, 5 times harder to be accepted in that family than the guy. And Jada was like, wow, like, that says a lot. Like, a lot. I just couldn't even believe that it was just such a woman central issue, because we have so much in common as a struggle, like, as women in general, just as so a baseline.
Because even black women, like I see on YouTube, I watch a lot of black YouTubers, and I see a lot of them in the comments fighting with other black women, and it's so hard because it's like, as women, we should all be supporting each other regardless of color, but also the fact that within the community, it's still even hard in that respect. I'm just like, wow.
And I think that's the problem. It's like, there's always another kind of like, it's like, okay, black people need to stick together. But within black people, there's like the color divide. Then there's like the, you know, race divide. And then within women, like, there's an inequality in women, so like women stick together, but then within women there's like the race divide and age divide, like just there's all these different like divides. It's like, we have to like genuinely stick together, you know?
Yeah. Well, that's what, like, they went on to say. They had, like, an expert who did this school experiment, which is essentially, like, really new at the time and, like, really groundbreaking and got, like, a lot of attention in a negative and positive way. She essentially separated all the kids in her class to brown eyes and blue eyes. And she said, everyone with blue eyes is great and everyone with brown eyes is bad. And she just watched that class like tear each other apart.
I remember reading about that.
So they had her on and they spoke to her about, she was like, literally there's one race and it's the human race, and we have decided to use skin color to pit each other, like to pit ourselves against one another. And going back, we are only like 30th cousins. Like, if you took it back, like, there's only, like, we all came from black women. And the only reason I'm white is because my ancestors moved closer to the equator and, like, our skin became lighter, like, pigmentation-wise. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's all geographical. It's all, like...
It's crazy. And we, like, when she said we are all one race, we're the human race, I was like...
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Like, yeah. Like, literally. Like,
I always
race.
think that.
Yeah.
And at the end of the song, we're all going to be light skin or, like, some mixture of skin colors.
You know what? And that's exactly what I was thinking when we were talking about blackfishing. I was like, that is where this is going, is that, like, in 30 years, we are all going to look mixed. Like, all of, like majority is going to be mixed and be, like, slightly a little bit of this, a little bit of that, not really sure, maybe looks a little bit Asian. And you won't be able to tell just right off the bat. And nobody will be able to tell. There's not going to be that much distinction, and I think that's going to be so great. But, I mean, they also brought one of their producers who literally did not want to come on. They made her come on. And she was like, as a white woman, and she was like fighting a little bit with Jada's mom. And Jada's mom was just like, I have too much trauma to be friends with white women. Like, if you don't think, because I think a lot of white women like are intimidated by black women. Like, I know I have been. Like, I've seen like a group of black women and I just think like, oh, they're like scary and they're mean. And I feel like black women probably feel the same way about white women. Like, walking
or it's
into
like
a group.
Or it's like like she said, it's like that trauma thing where it's like you've had bad encounters in your past, so you just avoid it in the future.
Yeah. Like, I completely understand that feeling. I felt like that in high school, and it's just, it sucks, right? Because in high school, you know, these teenagers, their parents are buying most of their stuff, okay? Like, a lot of them don't have jobs, but you see a lot of, like, in my example, my experience, like, I saw a lot of the older white people in my high school, like, have these nice goose jackets, have all these nice things because, like, their parents bought it for them. And it's almost like that envy, because not every white person is like, has it made,
but those, like, it's high school, like, environments like that distill that in you,
and
like,
it makes you feel like they're better than you. And like, I always kind of harbored that, and it's not right. Like, it's just a skin color, but it's like, do you just have those small experiences that you kind of hold on to?
This is funny because not funny at all actually, but I don't have her name, but the woman who had been advocating for all those years, she literally said that like schools are not educating children, they're indoctrinating them into this like way of thought, essentially, that like white is power, that just the way that we are, and the things that we get ingrained into us over time, and the kind of stereotypes and judgments and biases that we have. And I just think it's so crazy. And like, when she said we only have one race and it's the human race, I was like, whoa, that hit me hard. But it's nice to say those things. It doesn't mean that it's going to change.
It's just nice to even have these conversations like we are right now. Because like you were saying, like, people don't talk about race. And it's like, not every conversation about race means you're being racist. Like, you need to talk about it in order to understand each other and to break through that.
Especially me, like, I'm very inquisitive, and I'm also very like outspoken, and I want to do that in a way where I'm not offending, because I don't mean to offend, but I want to understand as much as I can.
Yeah.
But as a white woman, I don't always have those tools to know when I am getting privilege over someone else. And I don't know how to be the best ally I can be, because I don't talk about race that much, because we're kind of not supposed
Walking
to.
on eggshells.
Yeah, exactly. Because I don't want to seem racist. I come from a position of power already, which I don't want to feel threatening at all. So I'm like, how can I be your ally when I feel like even asking you is kind of diminishing you?
Yeah.
Even being like, how can I help you? You know what? Like, not even in that way, but like being like, how can I be your ally is already saying like, I'm more powerful. What can I do for you?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No, I get that. It's like, but because it's like, that's the narrative behind the conversation of racism. It's like, you can't ask questions. It's like, you're supposed to just get it. But like, you are supposed to just get it. You know what I mean? Like, we're all equal. Yeah, get that. But like, being afraid to ask questions and just like talk about it and like have open conversation with people who are not like you is like important, because that's the only way you're going to learn anything or get anything. Be an ally. You know what I mean? Is being open and being able to talk about it.
Yeah. I'm really glad that like we're highlighting Jada, because a lot of you know her because she's Will Smith's wife, but she's really out here doing the thing. And I really recommend you check out her show on Facebook. I think she uploads weekly now.
Yeah. It's called it's called the Red Table Talk. And definitely worth checking out. She talks about all sorts of things, not just racial divide issues. She talks about relationships, mental health, lots of different topics. So it's definitely worth a watch, only 20 minutes long. And she is our Woman of the Week this week. So give her a check out. What's up, guys? The end is near. The end is now. Thank you so much for listening to another episode. Our holiday episode. We hope you guys have an amazing holiday season. Whatever you're celebrating, whoever you're celebrating with. And know that the holidays can be shitty, and sometimes you have to see people that you don't want to see, and that might stress you out. And you're definitely not alone. And don't like overextend yourself in any way,
Yeah.
financially or like self mental health wise. So just stay strong, get through it if you need to get through it and it's a hard time of the year. Enjoy it if you love it like I do. And we'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
Yay.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram, YouTube, and listen to us on Spotify, Stitcher, and wherever you get your podcasts.
And Apple Music, guys. We're on
Yes.
Apple now.
And please report Woahman. Thank you.